The wrestling world just stopped in its tracks as reports surfaced that Paul Heyman, the legendary advocate and mastermind behind some of WWE's greatest storylines, has been diagnosed with cancer. This isn't a storyline, this isn't part of the script, this is real life hitting one of the most respected figures in professional wrestling history. If you've ever watched WWE and felt the electricity when Heyman grabs a microphone, you need to hear what's happening right now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're diving deep into this devastating news and what it means for everyone involved. Paul Heyman has been more than just a manager or an advocate in WWE. He's been the voice that elevated careers, the brain behind revolutionary ideas, and the man who could turn a simple promo into television gold. From his early days managing the original ECW to becoming the special counsel to Roman Reigns, Heyman has left fingerprints all over the wrestling industry. His relationship with Brock Lesnar alone changed the landscape of WWE programming for over a decade. Every time Heyman stood in that ring and began speaking, millions of people around the world leaned forward in their seats because they knew something special was about to happen. The news broke through various sources close to the WWE, and while the company has remained relatively quiet about specific details, the confirmation has sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling community. Wrestlers past and present have been taking to social media to express their support and share their memories of working with Heyman. The outpouring of love demonstrates just how much this man means to everyone who has ever stepped foot in a wrestling ring or watched from behind the curtain. What makes this particularly difficult is that Heyman has always been a private person when it comes to his personal life. Despite being one of the most public figures in wrestling, he's managed to keep his family and private matters away from the spotlight. This diagnosis has forced something into public view that he likely would have preferred to handle quietly. The wrestling community respects that privacy, but the concern and care for his well-being has overridden the usual boundaries because people genuinely love this man. Heyman's career spans decades and multiple wrestling promotions. Before he became a household name in WWE, he was the creative genius behind Extreme Championship Wrestling. ECW was revolutionary for its time, pushing boundaries and creating a style of wrestling that influenced everything that came after it. Heyman wasn't just the owner and promoter, he was the heart and soul of that company. He discovered talent, developed characters, and created an atmosphere that wrestling fans had never experienced before. When ECW eventually closed its doors, Heyman's reputation as a creative mind was already cemented in wrestling history. His transition to WWE saw him initially working behind the scenes before eventually becoming an on-screen personality. The decision to put him on television was one of the smartest moves WWE ever made. Heyman had a natural charisma and an ability to speak that few people possess. He could make you believe anything he was saying, whether he was building up his client as an unstoppable force or tearing down an opponent with surgical precision. His promos became must-see television, and WWE scheduling often revolved around when Heyman would be given microphone time. The partnership with Brock Lesnar is perhaps the most iconic manager and wrestler combination in modern wrestling history. When Lesnar returned to WWE in 2012, bringing Heyman back as his advocate was a stroke of genius. Lesnar is naturally a man of few words, someone whose presence speaks louder than any promo could. Pairing him with Heyman, who could verbally demolish opponents while Lesnar stood menacingly behind him, created perfect television. They complemented each other in ways that elevated both of their positions in the company. Every feud Lesnar entered became bigger because Heyman was there to sell it with his words. The recent years saw Heyman align himself with Roman Reigns in what became another career-defining partnership. Reigns' transformation into the tribal chief character coincided with Heyman becoming his special counsel, and together they created one of the most compelling storylines in recent WWE history. The Bloodline saga, with Heyman serving as the wise counselor and occasional comic relief, showed a different side of his talents. He could be serious and intimidating one moment, then provide levity the next, all while never breaking character or diminishing the importance of the story being told. Behind the scenes, Heyman's influence on WWE programming has been substantial. He's been involved in creative discussions, helped develop talent, and served as a mentor to younger performers trying to find their voice. Many current WWE superstars credit Heyman with helping them understand the psychology of wrestling, teaching them how to tell stories in the ring and connect with audiences on a deeper level. His knowledge of wrestling history and his understanding of what makes compelling television have made him invaluable to WWE's creative process. The diagnosis comes at a time when Heyman was still actively involved in WWE programming. He's been appearing regularly on television, continuing his work with the Bloodline storyline and helping to shape the direction of WWE's main event scene. The question now becomes how this will affect those storylines and what WWE will do to address his absence if treatment requires him to step away from television. The company faces a delicate balance between continuing their storylines and respecting the reality of what Heyman is facing. Cancer is a word that strikes fear into anyone who hears it, whether it's about themselves or someone they care about. The wrestling community has unfortunately dealt with this disease affecting many of its members over the years. From wrestlers to managers to behind-the-scenes personnel, cancer has touched the wrestling world repeatedly. Each time it happens, the community rallies together to show support and offer whatever help they can provide. The response to Heyman's diagnosis has been no different, with an overwhelming show of unity from everyone in the industry. The specific type of cancer and the stage of diagnosis have not been made public, and that information may remain private depending on Heyman's wishes. What matters most right now is that he receives the best possible care and has the support of everyone around him. Modern medicine has made tremendous advances in cancer treatment, and many forms of cancer that were once considered devastating now have much better prognosis and treatment options. The hope is that Heyman caught this early and that treatment will be successful. WWE's handling of this situation will be watched closely by fans and media alike. The company has a responsibility to support their employee during this difficult time while also addressing the business realities of television programming and storylines. Vince McMahon's departure and the new leadership under Triple H has brought a different approach to how WWE handles real-life situations versus storyline developments. The expectation is that WWE will prioritize Heyman's health and well-being above all storyline considerations. The wrestling world has seen many of its legends face health challenges over the years, and the response is always the same. Fans, wrestlers, and everyone involved in the industry come together to offer support, share positive thoughts, and hope for the best possible outcome. Social media has been flooded with messages of encouragement for Heyman, with hashtags trending worldwide as people express their concern and care. The global nature of WWE's fanbase means that support is coming from every corner of the world. Heyman's family is undoubtedly going through an incredibly difficult time right now. While he's been a public figure for decades, his family has largely stayed out of the spotlight. They're now facing a challenge that no family wants to face, dealing with a cancer diagnosis and everything that comes with it. The wrestling community's thoughts are with them as much as with Heyman himself, understanding that this affects everyone who loves him. The impact of potentially losing Heyman from WWE television, even temporarily, cannot be overstated. He's been such a constant presence and such an integral part of major storylines that his absence would be felt immediately. WWE would need to figure out how to write him off television in a way that makes sense for the storylines while being respectful of the real-life situation. This is never an easy balance to strike, and it requires careful consideration of multiple factors. Other wrestlers who have faced health challenges have often spoken about how the support of the wrestling community helped them through difficult times. The knowledge that millions of people are thinking about you and rooting for your recovery can provide strength during the hardest moments of treatment. Heyman will hopefully feel that same support and draw strength from knowing how much he means to so many people around the world. The legacy that Heyman has built over his career is already secure regardless of what happens moving forward. He's influenced multiple generations of wrestlers, changed how manager roles are perceived in modern wrestling, and created countless moments that will be remembered forever. His work in ECW revolutionized what wrestling could be, and his time in WWE has produced some of the most compelling television in the company's history. No matter what comes next, that legacy is untouchable. Looking at Heyman's career, it's remarkable to consider how many different roles he's successfully filled. He's been a promoter, a manager, a creative force, an on-screen personality, a mentor, and a friend to countless people in the industry. Each role he's taken on, he's excelled at in ways that few others could match. His versatility and his deep understanding of professional wrestling from every angle have made him truly irreplaceable in many ways. The current storylines in WWE will continue to develop, but how they handle Heyman's situation will be crucial. If he needs to step away for treatment, WWE will need to craft an exit that serves both the story and the reality of the situation. If he's able to continue working during treatment, that's another set of considerations entirely. The company has experience dealing with real-life situations affecting their programming, but each situation is unique and requires its own approach. Fans around the world are waiting for more information about Heyman's condition and his prognosis. The hope is that he'll be able to fight this disease successfully and return to doing what he loves when he's ready. Wrestling fans have seen many of their favorites overcome serious health challenges, and they're hoping Heyman will be another success story. The power of positive thinking and support from millions of people shouldn't be underestimated in situations like this. The wrestling business is often described as a family, and moments like this prove why the description is accurate. When one member of the wrestling family faces a crisis, everyone else rallies around them. It doesn't matter if there were past disagreements or if people are with different companies. When something this serious happens, all of that gets put aside and the focus becomes supporting the person who needs it. Heyman is feeling that support now from every corner of the wrestling world. Medical treatment for cancer has advanced significantly in recent years, with new therapies and approaches providing hope for patients facing diagnosis. Whatever type of cancer Heyman is dealing with, there are likely treatment options available that weren't possible even a decade ago. The combination of traditional treatments and newer innovations has improved survival rates and quality of life for many cancer patients. Heyman will have access to excellent medical care, and that gives reason for optimism. The emotional toll of a cancer diagnosis extends beyond just the person diagnosed. Everyone who cares about that person feels the weight of the news and worries about what's to come. For someone as beloved as Heyman, that means thousands of people are carrying that concern right now. The wrestling community is known for coming together during difficult times, and this situation is bringing out that unity once again. Moving forward, updates about Heyman's condition will likely come slowly and carefully. Medical privacy is important, and he has every right to keep details of his treatment in progress private if he chooses. Fans will need to be patient and respectful of whatever information is shared or not shared. The focus should remain on Heyman's recovery and well-being rather than on satisfying curiosity about specific details. The immediate future of WWE programming will be interesting to watch as the company navigates this situation. Storylines may need to be adjusted, and other talents may need to step into larger roles to fill any void left by Heyman's potential absence. WWE has a deep roster of talent, but replacing someone of Heyman's caliber and experience is not something that can be done easily. His unique skills and presence are what made him special in the first place. If you're a wrestling fan, you know that Paul Heyman has given you countless hours of entertainment over the years. He's made you laugh, made you angry, made you excited for what was coming next, and elevated every storyline he's been part of. Now is the time for fans to give back by sending positive energy and support his way. Whether through social media messages, thoughts and prayers, or simply keeping him in your mind during this difficult time, every bit of support matters. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on this situation and all the latest developments in the wrestling world. Paul Heyman is a fighter who has overcome obstacles throughout his career, and everyone is hoping he can overcome this challenge too.